All right. Well, we got a little. So, hey, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, wherever you are. I'm T Lightheart from the Prosperity and Health Alliance, and so glad that you're here to join us today. One of my great pleasures in life is sharing with you, and I'm doing a couple new things. I've got this on the regular PH Alliance site that we'll record. Let's go to YouTube. I'm also running up here. I'm running a Facebook Live. We're adding that to the Prosperity and Health Alliance as well. So whichever format that you like to come in by, there'll be recordings that will go on the training library. So I'm trying to multitask and add different technologies into the process. So just want to thank you all for joining us today. It's a real pleasure to have you on board and to share this with you. And tonight we're going to talk about a thing. I had a theme this week that I kind of referred to a little bit for everybody, and that was we're talking about crossroads. We're talking about making decisions, where people are at, what goes on in those, how do we feel about those, and basically how you transcend that, because everybody in their life gets to a point where they're at a crossroads. And I define a crossroads by a couple of things. So what is a crossroad? Well, a crossroad is something where you want something better, but you don't necessarily know what that is. You might know that you need to make a change, but maybe you don't have the courage to make a leap. Maybe you got to leave that job. Maybe you got to leave that relationship. Maybe that you got to upgrade that skill or do that task that you don't want to do, or spend the extra money, or go for an extra, whatever it is. That's usually what you're at a crossroad. Maybe you have a choice. You can go down the familiar path, or you can try something new. There's another kind of crossroad that comes up, and that's the one where you've kind of made the leap to you've taken a new course of action, but you haven't really leaned into it the way that you need to, the one that's going to get you success. So maybe you left a relationship that wasn't serving you, and that could be with a person, that could be a job, that could be a variety of different things. But you're still going back to that relationship, where you're still having patterns, or you're still caught in the actions that were imprisoning it. So you're in a new life, but you're still living like you're in the old life. So that's making the leap, but it's kind of like a half leap on a bungee cord or something. The next one would be, you've made a leap, you're in a new field, you're going down a new path, and you realize that you need more skills, or you need specific skills, but you haven't upgraded them. You haven't taken that chance to do these skills to get where you want. So these are all different types of crossroads that people come to. Sometimes it's a sickness in the family. It's a parent who's become in need. It's a child who's going through something that you don't know how to handle. It's a business that went sideways, that didn't work out, a job career that ended suddenly, or all these things are crossroads. And I think when you get to one, there's a number of different things that you can do. You can ask yourself empowering questions. The key to success in overcoming any challenge is to ask yourself empowering questions. And what do I mean by empowering questions? Well, questions that are going to lead you to a decision, and then taking action on that decision. Questions that'll get you to take action. Because sometimes we know what we need to do, we make the decision what we're going to do, but we delay what we're going to do. So, and I say this not because, I go through crossroads. I've got a number of crossroads that come up, and they come up in different areas of your life at different times. And they're always an opportunity for growth. They're always an opportunity for a new expression of yourself. And pretty much they're always uncomfortable, at least on some level. Some are like, oh, well, I could have this amazing choice or that amazing choice. Well, that's not such a bad crossroad. But the fear comes up, well, maybe I won't take the right choice. Other than, where it's one of these big life-changing things with, people and relationships and life and death and career and things like that. So some empowering questions you can ask yourself is, what do I get for taking this action? What do I get for taking this action? So in other words, you need to build a great story, a great vision of why taking this action is important, especially if you're in an environment where a lot of people are kind of negative and don't understand the vision. So that's the importance of vision. Second, what do I have to give up by taking this action? Now that's a double-sided question, because you might have to say, well, I have to give up my old job. I'd have to give up my old apartment or my old condo. Maybe I got to give up my old car. Maybe I got to give up that friendship. Maybe I got to give up that relationship. You know, there's always something that you got to let go of, right? Sometimes we stick to the familiar even if it's painful because it's familiar. Well, maybe it could be worse, right? So what do I have to give up? Now, the other thing is there's another part of this that's a little deeper, and that is you have to give up whatever story is holding you back. So if your story is that my spouse is holding me back, if your story is my boss is holding me back, if your story is my job's holding me back, if my education, my talent, my IQ, I don't know, my social, my introverted nature, my shyness, my loving, like whatever it is that your biggest asset is that's got you to this point, you might have to give that up or at least put it aside for a while to get the next piece. You might have to give up some judgment. You might have to give up some perceptions. You might have to give up your idea how things should be or what the outcome should be or what the expectations of other people. There's always stuff to give up. So what do I have to give up by taking this action? And those are the big questions if you can ask those ones. And then what do I have to let go of in order to make this reality? Do I have to let go of my pride? Do I have to let go of my fear? Do I have to let go of my anger? Do I have to let go of my apathy? Do I have to let go of my victimhoodness? What is the story that I got to let go of? What are the people? What are the places? What do I have to let go of? I don't have money. I don't have the time. I don't have. These are all on some level of story. They appear real, but you might have to let go of that. If you say I can't afford it, well, you got to let go of that story. How can I afford it? If you say, well, this doesn't, my relationship doesn't support this. Well, how could my relationship support this? Whatever it takes. Letting go is very powerful. There's a book by Dr. David Hawkins, is one of my, he was a psychiatrist for over 50 years, one of the most famous psychiatrists in the world and a real spiritual teacher. And he has a book called The Power of Letting Go, Pathway of Letting Go. Pathway of Letting Go. Surrender. Pathway of letting go. Surrender. And surrender is not like surrender, wave a white flag, we give up. Surrender is an active form of letting go of aspects that have held you back. So the question next you ask is, who do I need to become? Who do I need to become? Who is the person I need to become? Do I need to, like Warren Buffett did Warren Buffett was very shy, didn't like public speaking, and he realized he would never have the influence that he needed to go. So he took a Dale Carnegie course on how to speak. And in his office, that's the one thing he has up in his office, nothing else. He's got that up, and he said this actually gave more to him than anything else that he did. And he was scared to do it, but he knew that he couldn't be paralyzed that for the rest of his life. So he went and took it and did it. So who do I need to become? What do I need to learn? What skills do I need to develop? Who do I, like all that stuff. Empowering question. Who do I need to become? And then build that person up. Your super self, if you will. And then as the final motivator, I think you need to say, what does my life look like if I don't do whatever I came out to that list? So what's the list? What do I get by taking this action? What do I have to learn by giving this up? What do I have to give up by taking this action? What do I have if I don't do the above? Mentorship. The fastest route to being successful is to get a mentor, to get someone to show you. I'm happy to be here. I want to help mentor you with your business. And that's why we do this. So the question is, why do you need a mentor? The first question, why do you need a mentor? Well, you need a mentor because a mentor helps guide you. A mentor helps show you the way. A mentor helps you figure techniques, the people, the places, the tools, the things, the methodologies so that you can get to wherever your destination is better. So the question is, well, how do you find the right mentor? Well, find someone that, number one, has been there and done what it is that you want to achieve. Number two, that person has an ability to teach you and a willingness to teach you those skills. That's important because there's people that have done it but don't necessarily know how to teach it. And there's other people who have done it but don't want to teach it. So can that person teach? So finding the right mentor, right? Been there, done that, has the ability to teach you. And third, you resonate with them. Like there's a lot of different mentors and they have great skills, but you might not training, a sales training from Jordan Belfort. I took sales training from T Harvecker. I took sales level of success. I think we lost you a little bit there, but that's okay. We'll keep going. So finding the right mentor that resonates with you, has the skills, and can help teach you, that's really important. Why mentorship? Well, number one, you need a mentorship. You need to have regular meetings with your mentor. And the mentor provides you accountability. That's why you need a coach. You got to find one and win, or forget it and fail. That's just really what it is. You know, there's no football team or sports team or whatever go into a thing without getting coaching or mentorship. Why do you think that you can do it without it? You know, defining success. Now, I think it's really important that you need to continually redefine your success. So what does success look like to you right now? And where would you like to go? And and keep back and checking that, because you might get to the area that you think is successful and you realize, well, that's not really what I was looking for. I need to readjust that. And that's okay. Share what success looks like with your mentor. What does that actually look like for you? And how do you address that? And then have the flexibility that you can change that in the future if you don't like what you get. Then you need to make a plan, work the plan, review the plan. Get a plan with your mentor, help work that plan, and then review how you're doing that plan and then how you can improve that. So you set goals and levels. You celebrate success. Next, take action. Action always trumps strategy. There we go. We're back. Sorry we lost you there on one of the recordings. We're going on two at the same time. So sorry if we lost you on that. So coming back to the strategy, is, what do? Right? Again, action trumps strategy. For those that checked out for a second, we missed you for a second. Strategy with action produce better results. And then you got to track your results so you can improve the strategy. And once you improve the strategy, you realize that a better strategy leads to more effective actions. And more effective actions lead to more success with less effort. That's when the system becomes more and more, first it starts off kind of rough and loose, trying a bunch of things. And then you test that strategy, you see what works, what didn't work. You improve it, you create a new strategy, you improve the strategy by tracking the results. You create a better strategy, and then the action you take leads to more effective actions and better results. And then more effective actions leads to more success with less effort. And that's when you build a machine. But you got to start where you're at, wherever that is. Figure out what the right actions are. And at first you might be doing the wrong actions, but you through repetitions, you do the right action over and over and over again, but stay open to improvements. But just because something worked for the last 10 years and that's the way you only want to do it, doesn't mean that there's not a better way. But you might want to test a better way periodically or implement that to see if you can improve. That's CONI, constant and never-ending improvement. Another principle Tony Robbins talks about was implemented. Actually, there's a US guy that invented it, and it was implemented in the Japanese and led them to dominate of manufacturing for many decades. Next, study. You got to study. You got to study your field daily, weekly, year after year. Leaders are readers. Grow with the times. Grow with the times. You got to get up to speed with the life, right? Things are changing all the time, faster than ever. So be open and study what's working in the marketplace. Study other people, study other things, right? Things when you learn more in alignment with you. Discipline. Be willing to give up on frivolous things your friends are doing. Discipline comes from having a vision in your life. You got to have a compelling vision. You got to review that vision. You got to write those goals down. And then recognize that you're going to have obstacles. And obstacles are, you got to reframe obstacles as opportunities. You got to reframe reasons as excuses. You got to change excuses into something else, into a reason why it's going to work or a reason why you need to do this, as opposed to excuse of why it's not going to work. You need to reframe your expectations of others. Reframe your. Nobody owes you anything. You got that? Nobody owes you anything. The world does not owe you anything. You can be a victor, but not a victim. Be a victor, not a victim. Right now, there is a trend in the world that is just, everybody's trying to get special treatment. Everybody's trying to define their tribe and this move to tribalism. Check out Jordan Peterson, the psychologist from Toronto, if you're interested in investigating that. These ideologies that everybody's got to do this and that and other things and stuff. It's really weird. And this, you know, if you go back to tribal mentality, that the world was full of wars and attacking each other, and every little tribe was fighting every little tribe. We don't need to go back to that. It's going back evolutionary wise, and people are trying to define themselves in these little narrow things. Listen, if you are out there as a warrior for some cause or some social justice thing or whatever, that's fine. But I'm going to tell you what, you're going to meet a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, a lot of blame, a lot of anger. And essentially you're saying somebody needs to do something. And that disempowers you, and it disempowers anything you're with. So when I say be a victor, not a victim, see the circumstances as they are. Don't make them worse than they are. Don't make them better than they are, but see how you can help make it better. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be self-honest. You know, the world's full of a lot of pain and suffering. There's a world with a lot of unhappy people. That doesn't mean you have to be one. It doesn't matter who is an, you know, an unpleasant person. It doesn't matter if things aren't, you're not getting the love that you want from your spouse or your partner or whatever. You know what? Do the best that you can. Say it with a smile. Step beyond that. Don't be a victim. Be a victor. Because nobody owes you anything. Be the person that reaches out and makes life better, because you have infinite potential. We have an incredible opportunity with us, with the business that we have and our opportunities. And really, there is no excuse. So get yourself off that one. If you're at a crossroads in your life, I hope those things can help you and provide some insight. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. I'm T Lightheart. Thanks so much. Take care. All right. Let's see if we can get some questions here. I know we had a few technical difficulties, but the footage. So, or you can just give a shout out, raise a hand up. Any questions? Just hit it up. So a few people on. I know we lost some people on the recording. So no. All right. No questions tonight. That's right. We're here again every week. Prosperity and Health Alliance. Thanks so much.